it's time to get it lit. We got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all, keep the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space out your mind.
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's
fool?
a close encounter of what kind?
Ready, set, steady, bang.
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Matt.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's a good matchup in the AFC South between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts.
We got this. Here we go. Now get it. Check. Watch 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Now get it.
Newton on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on first down, Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Check out. Go. Back.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it.
Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads, and kind of pointing to each other like, what just happened there? I think you were onto something.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Hey, lock it. Check 4. 6-6. Pull it high.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hard. Check. Wide. Get wide. Slam.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Newton to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Trent Sherfield, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
No problem there on the extra point. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we are tied at 7. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
He's coming. Double up.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Sony Michel, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. This pass complete to Reynolds. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play that time for the Colts. 47 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Newton. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's 2nd and 8. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did.
Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. A 93-yard kickoff return as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. With that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here we go.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play,
and he will score. It's a touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. From the 50, Newton. And his pass incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. But it's going to be 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to look deep for more. He's got a man, complete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Johnson, the intended target. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll run it. This is Michel. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's been great. Looked down at the stat monitor here a moment ago. He's already over 300 yards in the third quarter. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And the Colts pick it up. The 30, the 20. And he takes it in for a Colts score. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw, being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 28.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Moore. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Austin Hooper, his 1st touchdown on the year, as they have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Michel. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as it...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He may try and run for this. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
This is caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal. Back to throw, Newton. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal.
I got you. I got you.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third and goal. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Here's Newton. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. From 4 yards out, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And some room to maneuver. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. That goes for a gain of 31. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Hey, Haywood. Check 13. Leo.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
As soon as he caught that toss and looked upfield, you could tell they had a big numbers advantage blocking-wise.
They certainly did, which means oftentimes your safety will be unblocked. That means he's got to play it from what they call inside out. Don't let the running back cut back across your face. Keep him pinned to the sideline and go make the tackle.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and goal from the 1.
Bravo. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Watch it. Hey, lock it. Check 43. Check.
On the toss, here's Johnson. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think we just saw an example of a game situation that I know is discussed, practiced to the nth degree, go right out the window, and a chance to win the game as well.
Yeah, protect the football. On the other side, you're taught to get in there and rake it out. They did just that.
I mean, they go over this starting in OTAs and mini camps. You go through these situations, and that's the way a lot of teams like to end practice. Finish it off with this type of a drive, kick the game-winning field goal. Everyone feels good and heads to the locker room. In this case, though, they're not going to feel so great about it.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Newton now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Newton. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. That one goes for 24 yards.
The previous play is under review.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Complete to number 14.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
On the ready.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
50, play. I'm scared. Defense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And this one is right through. And the Texans are going to win the football game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Houston, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.